My name is Cale Casey, one of the information officers with Pacific Northwest Team 2 here in the Unified Command. It is 5 a.m. on Friday, August 3rd. We're live right here at the Instant Command Post in Merlin, Oregon. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I have a special guest today who I'll introduce in a second. It's a very dynamic day today, so let's get right to the facts. The estimated infrared flight numbers from the 2147 to 947 flight last night, 32,591 acres, containment up 4% to 34%. And we have 1,154 firefighters with us today, including the 146 Oregon State Fire Marshal Structure Protection Specialists. The Sheriff's Office yesterday had a very busy day. They did the level 3 reductions for everything from Hog Creek down to Pickett Creek, and now everything down from Shan and Limpy is at level 1. And then they had to increase the evacuation level from a 2 to a 3, and that's the go for Gillese due to firefighter activity today that we'll talk about in a minute. And then the Klondike fire pushed to the east, which activated the Sheriff's Office to tell the 199 corridor to go into the green, which is be ready. Okay, so it's a very dynamic situation. I'm going to introduce Rich Tyler, Oregon State Fire Marshal's Public Information Officer, and also one of my co-leads here, and he's going to tell you about the dynamic situation. Thanks, Rich.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good morning. My name is Rich Tyler. I work for Oregon State Fire Marshal's Office. We are structural firefighters who come to help out an incident in a community, and we are cross-trained to right to the Northwest Coordinator Group NWCG standards as wildland firefighters. So we work in both camps, and on July 21st, we were assigned to the Garner Complex, and we joined working in conjunction with the wildland firefighters to protect your communities. We work, and since July 21st, we have assessed over 3,000 homes in the surrounding areas, both in the Weimar community area as well as the Grants Pass, Merlin, Hugo, Gillese areas. We've prepared homes and created defensible spaces for over 600 homes in the area. So our crews have been busy out there, as well as working side by side with wildland crews in fighting fire and mopping up areas around both the Grave Fire and the Taylor Creek Fire. Most currently, we're assigned as of this week to the Taylor Creek Fire. Grave Fire is in a good spot right now, so we've been putting a lot of efforts over here. And then, since we've been here for 2 weeks, we're going to start transitioning crews. You're going to see structural firefighting engines that may be leaving the area. Not to worry, we have other fire crews that are coming in to replace them, and we'll continue to work side by side with our wildland partners here on the Taylor Creek Fire. And as that transition occurs, I want just to assure you that our mission to protect your community and the surrounding area remains the same. Now, as of today, we are transitioning from the east side communities down here. Because this is mopped up and looking good, we're now transitioning up and around the corner towards the Gillese community up here, providing structural protection, assessing, creating that defensible space, and also providing patrols for tactical response along this north side of the Rogue River area. And that's primarily to ensure that we can get right on if there's a spot fire across the river and be able to tie it up. And I'm going to pass it back to Cale on what's going on with the operations side.
Okay, thanks, Rich. All right, so the operation side of the things that's moving to Gillese has made one major change happen at 8 a.m. this morning. Josephine County Sheriff's Office is going to close Bear Camp Road. So again, there's a press release out on this. We'll post it on our page. Bear Camp Road closes at 8 a.m. per the Sheriff's order. Okay, numerous firefighting operations yesterday. I want to bring you through each and every one of them. The Baker River Hotshots in Taylor Creek area, Section 12 and near this private land. We're trying to do a burnout yesterday, and the winds were not favorable, so they'll attempt that again today. There was aerial PSD, so a helicopter that helps initiate a little bit of a backing fire into sections 8 and 9, and that was to try to draw the main fire towards it and bring the fire towards the Bear Camp Road. There was a little bit of a natural fire spot run yesterday that crossed the Gillese Creek area, and so we're keeping an eye on that, and we actually have a time lapse from the branch director who he brought in last night that we'll post today, so you can see how the natural fire progressed and how that moved out of there. In section 16 over here, that's that pooch, and we're trying to put section numbers there for you so you can follow at home. Over in section 30, the Medford Crew 10, the local Type 2 initial attack crew, did a burn operation to try to hold the fire at the 2504 road system. There's some forest roads in here. You can see 2510. The number I got was 2504. That might not be exactly perfect, but right in here, the Medford crew did a burn operation to try to keep the fire below the ridge. Retardant was ordered for Chrome Ridge yesterday, the 2402 road. It was too smoky to actually bring the big planes in here, and so they'll try that again today, but there are crews on the dozer line on Chrome Ridge. Let's talk about the today's opportunities. Again, the hotshots want to burn in here. They're going to use the helicopter to try to square up and even up some of this burn area so that the progression can go nice and evenly and slowly. They took a lot of bucket drops on this little spot fire yesterday, so they'll go back there today and try to reduce the heat intensity, but yesterday they really hammered that with water. Today, if needed, if the fire is moving in this direction, there will be a burn off of Chrome Ridge. And then a reminder that holding any of this Bear Camp Road area will not be easy. Burning operations in favorable conditions is what we try to do. Low intensity fires are better than anything, and we'll show you pictures of what that looks like, but this won't be an easy hold. We want you to know that in advance. The weather today and yesterday has been actually a bit of a reprieve, and look at all the fire behavior we've had. It was 2 degrees cooler, 2 to 5 degrees cooler, with elevations in the 70s and the lower elevations in the 80s, humidities in the 20 to 30% range. Going forward, in the next 2 and 3 days, it's going to get hotter and drier again. So there's a window here that we're calling a reprieve. You can see how challenging these situations are. There was generally less smoke over the fire area yesterday, and so the northwest winds were able to mix down to the surface sooner than in recent days. That can lead to a little more activity. By afternoon, the winds were gusting up to 15 miles per hour in certain areas where certain drainages were shadowed by the wind. So it's a dynamic unfolding firefight here, and we're going to keep a very close eye on it. The watch out situation for the day, safety zones and escape routes not identified. So as everybody shifts over to Gillese, Bear Camp Road, Taylor Creek Road, the Ridge system here, each firefighting group has to have their safety routes, their escape zones known so they can engage fully. So we always have to know what we're doing, why we're doing it, where we're doing it, and then we have to engage in a certain way. That's underway today. Again, thanks everybody online on this feed. Neighbors, helping to answer those questions we can't always get to right away, helping folks identify where their houses are in the now reduced evacuation zones. We appreciate that. And remember, we consider ourselves all one Green Pants Nation. Doesn't matter what badge we wear, we're in unified command. We all share the same common goal of protecting your structures and businesses and getting you back home. Join us again tomorrow at 5, and we'll be posting all throughout the day. Thanks.